I still remember the way my sister laughed that day. Sharp, cruel, the kind of laugh that echoes long after the room goes quiet. "Married a farmer?" she said, swirling her wine like a queen at some royal feast. "You really set your standards low, didn't you?" Mother laughed too. Father didn't even look at me. He was too busy admiring my brother-in-law, the finance genius, the man with the tailored suit and the perfect vocabulary of profit margins and stock yields. I didn't argue, I just smiled, and I watched. Because I've learned that silence unsettles people more than words ever can. Back then, I believed peace was built on humility. My husband, Arif, worked the soil with his bare hands, and I loved that about him, his calm strength, the honesty in his calloused palms. We built everything from scratch, the farmhouse, the irrigation systems, the land deals. Every acre was a step toward freedom, ours, not theirs. But to my family, we were beneath them. They lived in numbers, forecasts, and brand names. To them, our simplicity was failure disguised as modesty, and I was their biggest disappointment. It started small, comments during family dinners, jokes passed around like cheap wine. My sister, Hina, bragging about her husband's investments, his financial empire. My parents nodding, proud. Then came the subtle digs. "You wouldn't understand," Hina would say, leaning in with pity. "You live such a simple life." I let her believe that. The first crack appeared 2 years later. A late-night call from my mother, her voice shaking for the first time in years. "They've had a little setback," she said. "Some market thing. Just temporary." It wasn't. I checked quietly. Their company had overextended. Fake assets, loans masked as investments, a house of cards waiting for wind. I didn't gloat, not yet, because I saw something even bigger in the collapse, the chance to balance every insult, every dismissal, every look that said I'd chosen wrong. The real storm hit 6 months later. Their empire was gone. Hina's perfect life was rotting from the inside. Debts, lawsuits, mortgage defaults. The same family that once mocked my simplicity now came knocking on my door, dressed in desperation. They arrived together. My parents first, my sister trailing behind like a ghost. Father spoke first. "You know your husband owns quite a bit of land. We were thinking," I finished the sentence for him, "that I sell it to bail you out." He didn't even flinch. It's family after all. And then Hina, still clinging to her old arrogance, added, "It's just land. You have plenty. Arif won't mind helping family." That's when Arif entered the room. Calm, quiet, like always. He sat across from them, hands folded, the faintest smile on his face. He didn't raise his voice, didn't gloat, just reached into the folder he'd brought and slid it across the table. "Before we talk about selling anything," he said, "you should know who owns what." Father opened it, his face drained of color. Every parcel of land, every irrigation system, every title deed, all under my name. Not his, not shared, mine. Signed, registered, legally untouchable. My mother's lips parted, then froze. Hina stared like she was seeing me for the first time. Arif leaned back. She built this, managed it, expanded it. I just worked the fields. There was silence, heavy, absolute, the kind that exposes everything, pride, shame, regret, in one breath. Then I spoke. "You mocked what you didn't understand," I said softly. "You called it small. Now you need it, and it's still not for sale." Hina's voice broke. "You'd let your family suffer?" I smiled, not cruelly, just truthfully. Family doesn't laugh while you bleed. They left soon after. I watched from the porch as their car disappeared down the dirt road, the same road they once refused to drive because it dirtied the tires. Arif stood beside me, quiet as ever. "You planned this," he said finally. I didn't deny it. I just prepared for the day they'd need the thing they mocked. He looked at me, eyes warm. "You're stronger than they'll ever know." I wasn't sure if it was strength or just clarity. Because revenge, when it's done right, doesn't shout, it whispers. It lets them realize, slowly, painfully, that they wrote their own ruin while you simply turned the page. Weeks later, I heard Hina's husband fled abroad. My parents sold their house to cover the debts. My sister moved into a small apartment in the city. I never visited. Sometimes I catch myself remembering that night when she laughed at my lowly farmer. The memory used to sting. Now it feels distant, like watching an old movie where you already know the ending. Because the truth is, I never needed their validation. I only needed time. Time for roots to grow deeper than their illusions. Time for harvest. When the season turned, I walked through our fields, green, alive, endless. Our reef was up ahead,